the R1 Shadowhunter Crossbow. This is the second special weapon in Cold War, and this was released yesterday. But actually, it was actually kind of released a little bit early last week. But Treyarch decided to remove it because they accidentally released it a bit early. I'll explain how the story goes at the end of the video. But anyway, let's see what the crossbow does. Launches lethal bolt projectiles to silently eliminate enemies. Excellent hipfire accuracy with good handling. Bolts must be manually loaded. So it's pretty much like the M79 where it's a one shot you have to reload, but of course if you have the tier 3 skill for the special weapons, you have a 25% chance to actually take ammo from your stock and not from the magazine. Of course I just got this yesterday and I have maxed it out, and I have all the camos for it as well, so I got the dark ether on it. Looks really gorgeous. Now, as for the attachments, it's really damn shame that there's only optic and there's only 4 sights, and it's not like a red dot sight, a holographic, or like an ACOG scope or a sniper scope. So we have either these sights that's either a 1.25 or 1.37 magnification. It's pretty disappointing. Also, you actually have access to these sights at level 1. So you don't have to unlock it with the weapon level. So of course I picked with the Microflex LED. Sucks that there's no quick draw, no stock, like the other crossbow, which is called the Reaver C96 in Black Ops 4. Where it did had attachments for the bolts as well, able to shoot faster, also much more better at longer range. As for the camos, well, of course they're a little more different, but some is still the same. You have to go for kills, which instead of 2,500 kills, you need 1,500 kills, so it's 1,000 less. Here you need to get 3 or more critical hit kills, but I noticed that even if I didn't aim at the head or get any kills at the head, it still counts as I still got a critical hit. So it's pretty easy to get. Brushstroke is all about killing enemies with a single shot. Now this one was pretty a little bit annoying to do, especially in Outbreak if you're trying to go for early rounds and you need to have a big horde, but it's pretty easy. You're definitely recommend to pack-a-punch in it because just the regular version of the crossbow, it does not one shot or kill multiple zombies with one shot. It can only kill one and it's done, which I don't think that's how a crossbow would work. It's supposed to go through multiple enemies. So pack-a-punching is recommended, and hope you have a big group of zombies training around and just go for the shot. Now for vintage, it's all about pack-a-punch, which is of course pretty easy. Faruna, I probably butchered that. It's all about specials, which I'm not really surprised anymore because you can actually just do this in Outbreak. Just get 10 kills with those guys, and Manglers, Panzer Soldats, Megatons, Tempests, Minics. It's just, I really think they should double the requirement from 10 to 20, especially for Outbreaks, that you can get a lot more specials. Of course, rapid kills, that's when you need to pack-a-punch, but I also noticed even if you don't have a pack-a-punch, as long as you keep getting kills, as long as you get like the Carnage medal, which I think it requires you to get 10 rapid kills, or 10 kills rapidly, you were able to get this no problem. But it's pretty easy. Infection, consecutive kills without taking damage, which is also easy. You can just do this in Outbreak. And of course, that's when I got the other camos. Also, by far, not really hard challenges. I think the one that really need to do a little more thinking is killing 3 enemies with 1 shot. That's where you need to hoard up a lot of zombies. As for the others, just play normally and you'll get it eventually. So yeah, and that's it for the talking with the crossbow. Let's see this bad boy in action. The R1 Shadowhunter crossbow. Now, as like any other crossbow in games, this is a very stealthy one, or stealthy weapon. But of course, when I know it's going to get a kill, I don't think they will.
Death is all you deserve.
Yeah, you can tell you can't. They really wasn't really intended to have it stealth anyway, or try and make Outbreak like a stealthy as game. It's always been a loud game anyway. But the crossbow, you can see, it does 1 shot. Pretty, of course, early on. Of course, it does struggle a little bit when you hit the enemies in the armor. But of course, there's the skill that actually increases armor against, does more damage to armor, so it's pretty handy to have.
Get down, ugly.
And thanks to my tier 3 skill for the special weapon, where I can actually fire this thing like semi-automatic. Depends, my luck with it is very high. Now it does have a little arc to it, and it's really hard to tell where I need to aim a bit high, considering that I don't have any long range optics, which really sucks. So if I aim like here, I may not even get the kill. But I'm just testing out for example.
You screamed your last.
You can definitely see where the arrow goes. But now for this one, definitely need to aim a bit up. So I'm trying to a little bit up. So I'll use the iron sights of the crossbow to help me to line it up a bit. I don't know if that was too far, but I'll try to lower it down. And it also doesn't help that the zombie just moves around. Okay. There we go. And of course, the best thing about it, you can also pick up the arrows, so you don't have to worry about ammunition. Of course, since I'm playing Outbreak, I don't have to worry about as much. In terms of close quarters, it does have some good hipfire accuracy, but you had to make sure you actually hit your target, because you may only get that 1 shot before you have to reload. And of course, I don't always rely on my tier 3 skill, because it's not always gonna take ammo from the stock. It's definitely a powerful weapon. Especially depends on the ammo mod you have, and also all the skills. It melts the megatons, melts the manglers, and also pairs very well with Ring of Fire. Now this will be challenging since I'm just using just a regular crossbow with no upgrades. Okay, I guess the nuke doesn't affect this guy. I mean, it makes sense. I don't think the nuke ever affected him at all in any other previous Black Ops games. I can able to deal with his helmet off. And it sucks that the crossbow does not come with any ammunition type, so there's like no poisonous tip, no explosive tip, just regular ones, and it's a really damn shame because they don't have other attachments for it. And for a crossbow, they release it a bit early. You would think they would add actually more attachments to it, but all they did was just change up the camo requirement because these were same as the M79, where you had to get 5 kills with 1 shot, which normally would be impossible to do with this crossbow. The highest I can ever achieve by killing multiple zombies with 1 shot was 4. And this was also because of Pack Punch and I had lots of them. Hoarding up. And the reason they Treyarch released this weapon a bit early and also change their ways and holy shit. Okay, I'll tell myself when I defeat this guy. There we go.
That is all you are.
Good kill.
And of course, Speed Cola does help with the reload speed, so helps a little bit margin. Alright, as the story goes,
Never let the gift horse
once
into
upon a
mouth.
time when the Crossbows was released a little bit early, according to Treyarch, a lot of people were going for their challenges of acquiring the weapon, and to get the R1 Shadowhunter, what you need to do in multiplayer is get free 1 shot, 1 kill medals in 15 different games using any weapon with no attachments. And basically the best way to do it is by playing hardcore, because you have such low health, you have like 30 health, and you have a weapon. If you look at the weapon details, you can actually see how much damage that weapon will be doing or dealing with, and also the range. So most of the time I would just pick an assault rifle, get it done, and of course I played for like 2 hours, so I was like 12 out of 15, and then I got a notification by my friend, want to play some Uno, you know, play with the 4 of us, and I was like, hell yeah. Then we play a bit of Uno, and then once we call it a day, you know, like GG, thanks for the games, have a good night and day everyone. Then that's when I went back to Black Ops 2 and try and continue with my progress on working on my crossbow. But when I checked on the special weapons section, the crossbow was gone. It was removed, and I was checking on Twitter and of Treyarch, and they had the crossbow. They basically left the crossbow out too early for 6 hours. I'm baffled. It took them this long to realize they accidentally released a weapon too early. 6 hours. Like, what the hell are you doing for 6 hours? I bet they were probably playing busy playing Uno as well. That's probably one of my guess. And, what they said on their Twitter was, since they removed the crossbow, any progression you make towards the crossbow will be reset, and that's for anyone who locked the crossbow early, able to get it very early, and make some camo progression towards it, will also be reset once the crossbow has its official release. And also any weapon level you make with a crossbow will also be reset. This pissed a lot of people off, including myself. it is so stupid too, because people, they change their schedule, they will use their free weekend to get the crossbow and change their schedule, change their plans, and actually make some video about it. And then they decide to remove it and decide to reset the whole progress. So the 2 hours I had are nothing. However, thanks to that backlash, following tomorrow, of course, following by the next day, Treyarch had decided to release a update regarding to the release of the R1 Shadowhunter and the progression. What they did is you kept all your progression. For anyone who unlocked the crossbow, very early, will have their progression set at 14 out of 15. And this is due to the fact that they can't really give to you immediately due to a limitation on how it would work. I'm not sure how. But it's pretty awesome, and of course any people who are working the progression to get the crossbow, like 12 out of 15 for me for example, I only need to play 3 more games to unlock it. And also any camo progression and weapon you level up with will be kept as well. So to me, I'm very glad for this, but also baffled by this at the same time.
If it does not function well.
They could have literally just done it right from the get-go. Like seriously, if you release a weapon too early, but then people start working progression towards to get this weapon, and also get the camos, to compensate for that, you at least tell them that you keep your progression, and once it's officially released, you will continue your progress. That's all they have to do. I don't know why they went ahead and tried to make everyone reset their stats. It's just not right. And it definitely hurts Treyarch's reputation with the crossbow. Pretty, yeah, that's a ridiculous story. That's a very long story, but I figured this would be a good topic to get. But of course, this isn't the first time where they accidentally release a weapon, very early in Cold War. We had the Striker, the 2 melee weapons. But at that time, it wasn't really much of a big deal.
Throwing C4 charge. Plenty of satchel to go around.
So it's pretty ridiculous that they did this twice now. They released a weapon a little bit too early, and then started to remove it, and then finally add it during release, like within 1 week. Alright, I'll see you when I gotta pack-a-punch this bad boy. Pack-a-punch the R1 Shadowhunter, you get the lance a lot, and sadly the magazine does not get increased, but what it does get is a reload speed increase. So I can able to reload it faster, and I have to say it's much more faster than Speed Cola. So this makes it even better, and of course the best part about it, like I said, you can actually penetrate multiple zombies. So I'll try to run all these up and see how many kills I can get. I'll try to use this corridor, this building for example, and see how many kills I can make. And I think it has to be like a certain range too to get more. It's pretty powerful, and I also forgot to mention that Using the, of course, the Pack-a-Punch, a fully decked out crossbow with the Ring of Fire, it destroys the Orda boss in like in a matter of seconds. Because it's just how really powerful how much number of damage you can get.
Take it to the grave.
But just like in many of the other weapons, of the new weapons they add, it sucks I can't pair it up with other weapons like the Groza, the Mac-10, with the crossbow. So hopefully they can change that. Hopefully either for this mid-season update, which should be happening around the corner. And also, another thing to note that the aim assist is actually not there. As you can tell, when I try to aim, I'm using controller. Normally, it would actually snap onto a target, but also, I don't actually. It does slow down my sensitivity a little bit, just a little, when I aim at a zombie, but or when I move around and have my crosshair to a zombie. But when I try to aim, it doesn't really like lock on to the chest, which normally a lot of weapons would. I'll show you what I mean. So I have a Sonar 63. Okay, when I go here, when I aim, or better yet, when I get close, when I aim, it goes directly to a zombie right here. I'll do it again. Okay, that zombie's stuck, so that gave me a good example. Okay. Now you may notice when I aim, it locks onto the target. This, like that. Even I aim at the leg and at the head, I aim at the chest. And I do not move with the right analog stick when I aim in. So I'm gonna do it again. You see, it locks to the target. But when I try with the crossbow, I don't have like a right crosshair, but when I aim at the leg. When I aim at the arm, I aim at the arm. And when I aim at the head, it aims at the head. So I'm gonna try again with the Sonar 63. When I aim at the legs, it goes to the chest. When I aim at the arm, it goes to the chest. And when I aim at the head, it goes for the chest. So this weapon has basically no aim assist whatsoever. And this can be either a blessing or a curse. Depends the way you look at it. And of course, even with Deadshot, where the perk will help you to actually snap onto the target to the head rather than the chest, it will not apply to the crossbow. And I also noticed when you get a critical hit with Deadshot, it doesn't have the yellow numbers when you get a hit. So do it right here. You see there's a yellow of 431, but when I of course aim at the chest, it's just 138. So the crossbow doesn't have a number when you hit. And you see, it does that much damage and I destroy her head, but that number it wasn't yellow, it was white. So I figured I need to do a little more rework with the crossbow and probably give it a nice little big buff it needs.
This was only a matter of time.
So, still, overall, it's still a really fun weapon. And of course it would be because it's a crossbow. And it's nice that we have another mid-season range weapon. Until we get the new sniper rifle, which hopefully they release it before Season 3. They're probably going to do that during a mid-season update, alongside with a new map for Outbreak, which is a night version. Centurium, which is a Fireteam Dirty Bomb map in multiplayer. But that's only in day. Well, this one for Outbreak's got to be in night. And I really hope we could get some nighttime versions for these Outbreaks. After all, it would actually be a lot more beautiful and at least get a little bit more variety. But, of course, I don't really plan myself using the crossbow like every time. But in terms of how fun it is, I'll give it a go I'll give it a go once in a while. So yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Until next time, farewell, and have a wonderful day, everyone.